Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. 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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Namo Vishnu Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Namo Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. We don't join the class today.
Right.
Huh?
Right. Nobody joined it. They will join. They will join. They will join in some time.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री सादि गौर भक्त वृंद, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
नमो
कृष्ण
विष्णु भराय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय
हरे
भूताय श्री
राम
परमात्मने
राम हरे हरे,
विष्णु
हरे
भराय
कृष्ण
कृष्ण पृष्ठाय
कृष्ण
भूतले
हरे हरे, हरे
श्रीमते भक्ति
राम
वेदांत
राम हरे
स्मरण नितिन नामिने
हरे
नमस्ते
कृष्ण
सरस्वती देवे
हरे हरे, हरे
गौरवाणी
राम
प्रचारिणे
राम
निर्विशेष
हरे
शून्य
हरे,
पाश्चात्य
हरे
देशतारिणे
हरे
जय
राम
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री
हरे
अद्वैत
कृष्ण
गदाधर श्रीवासदि
हरे
गौर
हरे,
भक्त
हरे
हरे
राम
कृष्ण
राम
कृष्ण
हरे
हरे
हरे,
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे हरे,
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
राम
हरे
राम
राम
हरे हरे,
राम
हरे
राम
कृष्ण हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण
राम
हरे राम
राम हरे हरे,
राम
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम
राम
हरे हरे, हरे
राम हरे
कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे हरे,
हरे राम
हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम
हरे राम
हरे हरे
राम हरे हरे, Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama
Hare
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 Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
Hare Krishna Krishna
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Rama Rama
Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Hare Rama
Rama Hare Hare,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Just 2 minutes, devotees. Just hold on. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Raju Prabhu, Samhita Mataji, Lalit Mohan Prabhu, Lavanya Danotranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining today. So, the essay, the CC Adi 15 done, Lavanya?
అయిపోయింది ప్రభుజీ అది కూడా.
Hello?
అయిపోయింది హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ, అయిపోయింది.
Yeah, అది కూడా అయిపోయిందా?
ఇప్పుడు మనం సుబోధి స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి ప్రభుజీ, భగవద్గీత సుబోధి.
Yes, that's where I wanted to do this. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, let me do it Mangalacharana prayer, then we'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sapatam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jigatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangum langāyate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dīnatarinam Paramanandamādhavam Sri Chaitanyameshwaram. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastam gatopi va yasmaret pundarikaksham sabhyabhyantaram suchihi. Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. One more prayer I wanted to, this one. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya Diviva Chakshuratatam Tad Vibraso Vipunyavo Jagrivamsa Samindhate Vishnuriyat Paramam Padam. So we are reading from BG Subodhini of Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, Bhagavad Gita, Subodhini 15th chapter. I am just opening. Chapter 15 entitled as Yoga, the Yoga of the Supreme Person. The Yoga of the Supreme Person. So let us read from this book. Let me share. Yes. The Yoga of the Supreme Person. So this section is divided like this. There are total 20 verses. It's a small chapter. 20 verses. It's actually, I am remembering now, in 15th chapter, during Adhika Mas, Purushottam month, it's called Purushottam month. Every day I use it to recite 15th chapter every day. It's called Purushottama Mas, the Yoga of the Supreme Person. So that is every 2.5-3 years it will come. So there are 20 verses. This section divided. Let me read these sections and then over to you. 1 to 6 verses talks about from material world to spiritual world by detachment and surrender. 1 to 2 talks about material world is an upside down banyan tree. Branches are planets. The 3 modes are watering process. twigs are sense objects and secondary roots are fruitive activities. 3 to 6 verse talks about cut the tree of material world with the acts of detachment and surrender unto the Supreme Lord, process explained, and thus attain the spiritual world. Qualities described. So 7 to 11 talks about transmigration of the living entities. So transmigration of the living entities from one body to another body. So that's where describing here in 7 to 11. 7 to 9 talks about the Jiva is part and parcel of Krishna, but struggling in this world due to 5 senses and the mind, and thus changing material bodies. 10 to 11 talks about soul's transmigration. Who can and who can't see. 12 to 15, appreciating Krishna's position as our maintainer in this world. So 12 to 13 talks about Krishna is our maintainer at cosmic level as source of light, sustenance, and juice of life. 14 to 15 talks about Krishna is our maintainer at personal level as digestion, fire, and Paramatma in the heart. So 16 to 18 talks about summary of the Vedas and the Vedanta. So 16 talks about 2 kinds of living entities, Kshara, Akshara. 17 talks about the super soul beyond Kshara and Akshara. 18 talks about Lord Krishna, the Supreme Lord. 19 to 20 talks about knowing Krishna means knowing everything. The beautiful verses of 15th chapter, 19th verse and 20th verse. Knowing Krishna, one engages in his bhakti. Whoever understands this will attain knowledge, realization, and perfection. Very nice, nicely putting here, see, knowing Krishna, one engages in his bhakti. That means we need knowledge. Unless we get the knowledge, we won't put into practice. That's where we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, to understand Krishna's position. And then by that, what happens that whoever understands this will attain knowledge, realization, and perfection. Engaging ourselves in the Krishna service. That means reading his books, the teachings, following his teachings, right? So this is the thing. 1920, knowing Krishna means knowing everything. If we know Krishna, that's it. We know everything. So connected points, and then over to you. What is the connection from previous chapter? In the previous chapter, there's a 14th chapter. What is the 14th chapter entitled is? Modes of material nature, right? 3 modes of material nature. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Krishna said that he is the basis and supreme shelter of Brahman. 14.27. Mamcheva Vicharena Bhakti Yogena. Before that verse. 14.26. Mamcheva Vicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate. Sagunan Samatitya Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. If anybody wants to transcend these very difficult of these 3 modes, one has to engage in devotional service. There is no other way. That's it. Krishna only giving that instruction. There is no other way. Only surrender to me and perform bhakti. Then only you will be able to cross these 3 modes of material nature, which is difficult. Daiviyesha gunamai mama maya duratya mam yeveye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. These 3 modes of material nature, it's a binding. We see that picture, right? 3 women holding Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. That's the thing. So Krishna also said that by performing bhakti, one can transcend the material modes and attain the status of Brahman, 14.26. But to attain devotion and attachment to Krishna, one needs to also develop detachment from the material world. Prabhupada writes, attached to Krishna, detached to Maya. Materialistic way of life, sense gratification, detaching. In this chapter, Krishna describes the process of breaking attachment to this material world. He compares this world, samsara, to a banyan tree, ashwattha vriksha, and detachment to an axe to cut it. He then describes Purushottama Yoga. 15th chapter is called, another name is Purushottama Yoga. That's where Adhika Masam also called Purushottama Masam. So in there, we used to recite every day, 15th chapter. After knowing the importance of Bhakti Yoga, one may question, what about the Vedas? This chapter explains that the purpose of Vedic study is to understand Krishna, right? Who has written these Vedas? We all know, 15th chapter, 15 verse. What is that? Vedaisha sarvaim ahameva vedya vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. Ultimately, we have to understand Krishna. That's the thing. That's a goal. And what is the expectations? And how do we live with that expectation? Yes. So over to you, Prabhuji and Mataji. So Mataji is there? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Samhita Mataji, please start. I think Diva Mataji is not joined. You can start. from this section?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. 1 to 6, from material world to spiritual world, by detachment and surrender. Material world is an upside down banyan tree. Urdhva moolam adak sakham ashwadham prahur avyayam chendamsi yasya parnani yastam vedasa vedavit. It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedas. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. Reflection tree. A tree with its branches down and roots upward is the reflection of a real tree in the water. The tree of this material world is only a reflection of the real tree of the spiritual world. Desire. Just as a tree's reflection is situated on water, the reflection of the spiritual world is situated on desire. One can be free from entanglement within material world by cultivating a transcendental desire to enter into spiritual world. Knowing the Vedas. One who is attracted by rituals of Vedas is just attracted by the beautiful green leaves of the banyan tree and does not know the purpose of Vedas. Knowing the Vedas means to cut off one's attachment to the tree of material world. Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Speaking on mute. Go ahead, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
1 second. I'm just checking.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So 1 to 6, right? Okay. Go ahead. Read until this. Okay, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. 2a, its branches spreading up and down represent planets with different species. On the lower parts of the branches, there are planets with living entities like human beings, animals, horses, cows, dogs, cats, etc. On the upper parts are higher forms of living entities, the demigods, Gandharvas, etc. Brahmaloka lies at the root. It is nourished watering process by the three modes, Guna Pravruddha. Its twigs are the sense objects, Vishaya Pravalaha. The tips of the branches are the senses attached to the sense objects. Its secondary roots extending everywhere bind the human society to fruitive actions, Karma Anubandhini.
Read this also. Connection point.
Okay. The subsidiary roots are attachment and aversions, which are byproducts of different varieties of suffering and sense enjoyment. The tendencies toward piety and impiety develop from these secondary roots. The fruits of this tree are dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. This tree is eternal, avyayam, in the sense of being continuous, because it does not disappear except through the discriminating knowledge given in the Gita. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mata, thank you. Extension example, Krishna only gives that example. Banyan tree an example, right? Upside down. That there is an imperishable banyan tree that it has roots upward and its branches downwards. Here, reflection tree, knowing the Vedas, desire is described here. The reflection tree, what is that reflection tree? A tree with its branches down and roots upward. There is one picture actually. If we see upside down, the same banyan tree is the reflection of a real tree in the water. Yes, the tree of this material world is only reflection of the real tree of the spiritual world. So whatever it's a just reflection. In original, in nature, it's there in the spiritual world. Whatever, everything. So here the thing is desire. Just as a tree's reflection is situated on water, the reflection of the spiritual world is situated on desire. One can be free from entanglement within material world by cultivating the transcendental desire. What is that transcendental desire? Can anybody add? What is that transcendental desire to enter into the spiritual world? Transcendental desire.
To serve Krishna.
Cultivating, okay, by cultivating a transcendental desire to enter into the spiritual world. Cultivating, okay, to serve Krishna. And next, anybody? What is the desire? What we have to desire for?
Going back to
Going
God.
back home to back.
Going
Back
That's
home
it.
to
That is the desire we have to have. Yes, that's it. This is the life. Yes, I'm suffering from different bodies, and so Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. No, I don't want anymore. We have to have desire. This the spiritual desire is good. Transcendental desire is good. That I wanted to go back home, back to God in this very lifetime. For that, we have to work hard. Yeah. For that, desire is needed. Without this, see, there is no question of desirelessness. Either material desire or spiritual desire. So Mayavadi said there is no desires, and there is the misconceptions there. Desire always there. So knowing the Vedas, one who is attracted by rituals of the Vedas is just attracted by the beautiful green leaves of the banyan. Does not know the purpose of the Vedas. Knowing the Vedas means to cut off one's attachment to the tree of material world. The same, attached to Krishna, detached to Maya. Materialistic way of life. Okay, so these are the given, just an example. It is nourished watering process, 3 modes: twigs, Vishaya Pravalaha, sense objects, secondary roots everywhere, fruitive karma bandhana, karma anubandhini. Yeah, the subsidiary roots are attachment and aversions, byproducts of different varieties of suffering and sense enjoyment. Where we place our attachment, that matters. Either we suffer or we enjoy. See, in this material world, dukkhalayam ashashvat only, that is also defined by Krishna. There is no enjoyment, real enjoyment in this material world. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It's temporary, flickering nature. Right? This piety, impiety, there is already secondary roots, it's saying. Fruits, dharmartha, kama, moksha. So now, bhakti is beyond these 4 or bhakti is under these 4? Can anybody say? What is bhakti?
Beyond these 4 points.
Beyond these 4. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Dharmartha, kama, moksha. Dharmartha, kama, moksha also still sense gratification only. Liberation. Liberation for what? What happens after liberation? Liberation after we have to serve Supreme Lord eternally. That is the goal. Bhakti is beyond this dharmartha, kama, moksha. These are all fruits. The fruits of this tree are this dharmartha, kama, moksha. That means it's again sensual activities only. Right? Dharma, artha, kama, religion, sense, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. But bhakti is beyond all these 4. The tree is eternal, avyayam, in the sense of being continuous, because it does not disappear except through the discriminating knowledge given in the Gita. So how can we nourish discrimination in our mind? Basically, discrimination comes from our intelligence. So how to purify our intelligence? By reading Bhagavad Gita regularly, so that we can get that discrimination power. What is good, what is bad. And that is only human beings having. No other living beings having the discrimination power. Because all other living entities, instinctive behavior, right? Immediate, what is, if animal wants to eat some flesh, directly kill the animal and the other animal and eat. For example, tiger or lion. But whereas human having distinctive behavior, which he has a power of intelligence, like whether it is good or bad. So that's the thing. So we just have to, so here the teachings are giving to cut the tree of detachment. So how do we do that? By attaching to Krishna. Detach to Maya, slowly go away. It's a gradual process. It's not a 1 day or one year or 2 year. It's a lifelong process. Yeah, let us go to 5th one. Sandhya Mataji, can you please read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead.
5th one, the surrendering process. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha. Those who are free from false prestige and illusion, who have conquered over false association. Adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama. Who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust. Dvandvair vimukta sukadukka,
Samnyaya.
who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and gachanti amudaha padam avyayam tat, who unbewildered know how to surrender into the Supreme Personal, attain that eternal spiritual world.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you very much. Yes, you can read this link point.
Now Krishna will describe the nature of the spiritual world, which is the goal of the surrendering process described above. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. You can, Lavanya, you can read. 6th one.
Yeah, sixth one, qualities of spiritual world. Krishna Loka or Golok Vrindavan. Na tadbhashete suryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatvana nivartante taddama paramam mama. Na tadbhashete suryo. It is not illuminated by the sun. Na shashanko na pavaka, or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Yad gatvana nivartante. Those who reach it never return to this material world. Taddama paramam mama. That is the supreme abode of mind. A living entity will not be satisfied until he reaches the supreme abode, because it is the constitutional position to be related with Krishna as explained in 15.7.
Yes, thank you. So a living entity will not be satisfied. So there is no satisfaction in this material world until we go back to see, we can get satisfaction in this material world also when we perform Krishna Bhakti. Yeah, will not be satisfied until he reaches the supreme abode. That means Prabhupada writes, a home can be a temple and perform bhakti 24 hours a day. By that we get the satisfaction. It's a we have to practice that way. I mean, we have to put ourselves, we have to be arranged in our homes. Always remember 24 hours. Always remembers to Krishna 24 hours a day. You can do that. Actually, there are many examples in our ISKCON community. There are so many families always remembering Krishna. Trying to be. And because it is the constitutional position to be related with Krishna, as explained in 15.7. We all know what is our constitutional position. Raju Prabhu, what is our constitutional position, Prabhuji? Our constitutional position. Jivera Swarupavai, Krishnera
Nityadas.
Yes. Jivera Swarupavai, Krishnera Nityadas. We are always eternal beings, eternal servants to Supreme Lord Krishna. So when we perform the service to our master, our father, eternal father, then we become satisfied. That's what it is. Okay, 7 to 11, transmigration of the living entities. You can go ahead, Prabhuji. Please read, Raja Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. 7 to 11, transmigration of the living entities. 7 to 9, mind's power to determine the jiva's future. 7, identity of the living entity. Mama Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. The living entities in the world are my eternal fragmental parts. Manasastani Indriyani Prakristani Karshati. Due to the conditioned life, they are struggling hard in the material world with 6 senses, including the mind. Linking them. Krishna will elaborate on how the jiva carrying the senses is struggling, Karshati, in this world. Change of the bodies. The living entities carries is different conceptions of life in the mind from one body to another, just as a hair carries aromas. Thus, taking another gross body, the jiva obtains new cars, eyes, tongue. The jiva obtains new ears, eyes, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, all grouped about the mind, and thus it enjoys sense objects. Note point: consciousness is originally pure like water, but just as we mix water with a certain color, it changes consciousness according to the association of the material modes. Real consciousness is Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Raju Prabhu, want to add anything by reading? You wanted to add anything? So we quote frequently, Prabhuji, identity of the living entity. Mamai Vamsha, we all came from Krishna. Eternal, we are all came from Krishna. How can we support this statement? We have to say this verse. Mamai Vamsha, Amsha, part and parcel of Krishna. I am part and parcel. A living entity, animal, anything in his creation is part and parcel of Krishna. All jivas. So we have to say that I came from Krishna. So this is the verse we have to support. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manas Shashtan Indriyani Prakristani Karshati. So material nature, okay, struggling hard in the material nature with the 6 senses includes the mind. Can anybody says what are the 5 senses? 6 senses, including the mind there. Then what are the other 5 senses? Can anybody quickly say this, please? Hare Krishna. What are the other 5 senses? Struggling.
Shall I go ahead, Brahma?
మీరు చెప్తారు కదా ఒక్క నిమిషం ఎవరైనా అడుగుతాను. హరే కృష్ణ.
Yes, Prabhuji. Eyes, hearing, touch. What else?
మీరే చెప్పాలి. మీరే చెప్పాలి ప్రభు. Yes, you are there. Yes.
Smelling, and one more, Prabhuji.
Taste.
Taste. Okay.
Same thing, Prabhuji. See, we just have to remember that senses and objects of sense enjoyment. Eyes by seeing, nose by smelling, tongue tasting. 3 हो गया ना ये head में. And ears by hearing. And what is the next one? Sense of touch, skin. And mind. That's the thing. So how, see, this is a beauty. How we place these 5 sense objects matters. What we see, what we smell, what we hear, what we taste, what we touch. And that's where we learn that sloka, right? Savai mana Krishna padara vindayor. Who said this verse? Whose pastime is this verse? Can anybody? Except Lalit Mohan Prabhu. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayor. Vasamsi jirnani gunana varnane. What is that? Who said this? Which pastime this?
Kulashekar Alvar, Mukundamala Stotram.
No, Mataji, we have read this in this way. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayor. What is that?
Kulashekar Alvar, right?
No.
Ambarish Maharaj.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Ambarish Maharaj.
ఎక్కడెక్కడ మొత్తం ఏం ప్రభు మీరు టీచింగ్స్ అన్ని.
My mistake only, Prabhuji.
No.
All because of me only.
Nothing.
No. Actually, Mukundamala Stotram చదువుతున్నా ప్రభుజీ, అందుకే అది వచ్చింది. Sorry.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, okay? So actually our original consciousness is pure. Prabhupada writes to awaken our dormant consciousness. To awaken that is dormant, just like sleeping mode with the modes. Now we have to revive with the process of bhakti. Yes, simple. Yes. Yeah, 10 to 11. Lalit Mohan Prabhu, please read, Prabhu.
Text 10 to 11. Soul's transmigration. Who can and who can't see? Utkramantam sthitam vapi. Utkramantam sthitam vapi. Bhunjanam va gunanditam. Vimuda nanu pashyanti jnana chakshushah. Utkramantam sthitam vapi. This quitting of body and staying in a body. Bhunjanam va gunanditam. And enjoying under the spell of material modes. Vimuda nanu pashyanti is not pursued by the foolish people. Pashyanti jnana chakshushah. But those who have eyes of the knowledge can see this. Yatanto yoginaschainam pasyantyatmanyavishyata avasthitam. I'm sorry. Yatanto yoginaschainam pasyantyatmanyavasthitam. The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in the self-realization can see all this clearly. Yatanto pyakritatmano nainam pashyantya achestasaha. Yatanto pyakritatmano nainam pashyantya achetasaha. I'm sorry, Prabhu, I never practiced this Bhagavad Gita slokas.
It's okay, Prabhu. Deniki sorry, Prabhu.
Yeah. But those with impure consciousness cannot see this, though they may try.
Linking.
The linking point is, even sense enjoyment is possible without the help of the Lord. One can develop his Krishna consciousness even while living in this world by appreciating Krishna as the maintainer of the phenomenal world. The following verses help us to know how things are taking place in this material world and thus be established in the knowledge. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. శ్లోకాలు మీరు దేనికి సారీ ప్రభుజీ, అన్నీ మాకు రావాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు కదా ప్రభు. ఎస్, యు ఆర్ టీచింగ్ అస్ అండ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ యు నో, వాట్ ఎవర్ వీఆర్ లర్నింగ్, దట్స్ ఓకే, నో నీడ్ టు క్వశ్చన్. అండ్ సారీ, థ్యాంక్ యూ మనము ప్రతిసారి యూజ్ చేస్తాం. మనం చూసి సారీ యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు, థ్యాంక్ యూ కూడా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఎస్, యు ఆర్ దేర్ ప్రభు, నథింగ్. యా, Sapan Prabhuji, please read. Actually, anything you want to add? From this verse?
Prabhu, I am completely sleepy actually today, because from past 3 days I was only sleeping for 4 hours. So I am not here, Prabhuji. You please go ahead. Thank you that you came to me. Else I don't know what will happen to me in the time.
No. Yeah. Take rest, Prabhu. Yeah, 6 hours sleep, 6 to 7 hours. Yeah. So this is the thing. So these verses, 10-11 verses talks about soul's transmigration, who can and who can't see. Fitting of the body, staying in a body, enjoying under spell of material modes. The body, that's where changing bodies. Because this material world is created by these 3 qualities, 3 modes of material nature. Is not perceived by foolish people, but they have eyes. Those who have eyes of knowledge can see this. The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly, but those with impure consciousness cannot see this. Covered, problem with this covered consciousness, that's why we cannot experience. But still we have to try. Even sense enjoyment is impossible without the help of the Lord. One can develop his Krishna consciousness even while living in this world by appreciating Krishna as the maintainer of the phenomenal world. The following verses now, it helps us to establish in knowledge and understand Krishna by appreciating Krishna as a maintainer. So we can see these verses, how Krishna is going to be maintainers. So 12 to 15 verses talks about appreciating Krishna's position as our maintainer in this world. Sapan Prabhuji, can you please read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. 12 to 15, appreciating Krishna's position as our maintainer in this world. Krishna is our maintainer at cosmic level. I am the source of light of the sun, moon, fire that dissipate the darkness of this world. I enter into each planet, and by my energy, I sustain all living beings. I become the moon and supply the juice of life to all plants and vegetables. Krishna is our maintainer at personal level. Krishna is the digestion fire. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Asrita Prana Samyukta Pachyami Annam Chatur Vidam. I am the fire of digestion in all the bodies of all living entities. I join with the air of life outgoing and incoming to digest the 4 kinds of foodstuff. 4 kinds of foodstuff: Bhakshya, chewed; Bhojya, sipped; Lehya, licked; and Choshya, sucked. Continue, Prabhuji, or stop?
Please continue, 15 also.
As Paramatma, Krishna initiates all activities. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivisto matasmritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarver aham eva vedyo vedantakrit vedavid eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart. From me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. I am the compiler of Vedanta as Vyasadeva. I am the knower of the Vedas. The living entity forgets everything of his past life, but the super soul, the witness of all his work, gives him remembrance and required knowledge to start his deeds. Thus, the Lord is not only all-pervading, he is also localized in everyone's heart. Having concluded that he is the goal of Vedas, Krishna will speak the essence of Vedanta in the 3 verses that conclusively establishes his position as the Supreme. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Actually, this beautiful chapter, actually, 15th chapter. Yeah. So we all know this one, right? The fire in our stomach, digestion power, digestion fire. Krishna, that is Krishna's energy. He is situated. That's where, see, unless if a person takes a lot of food, unless it's digestion, he's going to die actually. So digestion power is Krishna. He himself says, Krishna himself is saying here, Krishna is our maintained at cosmic level and personal level. See, 2 things. 12:13 talks about cosmic level. I am the source of light. I enter into each planet. I become the moon. I become the sun. Sashishuriya Netra, that comes here. Krishna is our maintained at personal level. So digestion fire in the bodies of all living entities. I join with the air of life. We are breathing, right? That is from Krishna. Outgoing and income. Pacham annam chaturvidam. And to digest the 4 kinds of foodstuffs. 4 kinds of foodstuffs here mentioned. Bhaksha, Bhojya, Lehya, Choshya. Chewed, sipped, clicked, and sucked. 4 kinds of foodstuffs. As Paramatma, Krishna initiates all. We all know that 15.15 verse. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto. He is situated in our heart. The Lord is not only all pervading, is also localized in everyone's heart. By that, he knows present, past, and future. And he is giving the remembrance and require knowledge to start his deeds. The living entity forgetfulness also given by Krishna for us. For example, if you don't give forgetfulness, assume that if we have an animal consciousness in the human body, we cannot live at 1 minute. Forgetfulness is needed. That is given by Krishna. That's where again is innovating, what is that? Awakens with this knowledge. Whoever comes to him, then automatically he gives this knowledge and remembrance. Having concluded that the goal, the next 3 verses talks about conclusively establishes the Krishna's position. So let us see here. Chandramohan Prabhu, can you please read 16 to 18, summary of the Vedas and the Vedanta?
Hare Krishna. Summary of the Vedas and Vedanta. 2 kinds of living entities, Shara and Akshara. Daimau Purushavloke Shara Chaksara Evacha Shara Sarvani Bhutani Bhutasto Shara Uchate. There are 2 classes of beings. Shara, the fallible, who deviates from his true nature. Akshara, the infallible, who doesn't deviate. In the material world, every living entity is fallible. In the spiritual world, every living entity is infallible. The supersoul, 17. The supersoul beyond Shara and Akshara. Uttama Purushatva Anyaha Paramatmate Udartaha Yoloka Trayam Avishya Bibharti Avyaya Iswara. Superior to those two, there is the greatest personality called the Paramatma, the Supreme Soul. He has entered the 3 worlds. The inaccessible Lord is thus maintaining the worlds. The 2 classes of being mentioned in 15.16 are the conditioned Shara and liberated Akshara Jivas. The position of supporting and protecting the universe mentioned in 15.17 cannot refer to the conditioned Jiva because he cannot perform such actions. It cannot refer to the liberated Jiva because he is devoid of interaction with the world. It can refer only to the Supreme Lord. No one can surpass the Supreme Lord, neither the conditioned soul nor the liberated soul. Having spoken about the objects of worship of yoga, of the yogis, Paramatma Krishna now speaks about the object of worship of the devotees, Bhagavan. 18. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Yasmat Sharam Atitoham Aksarad Apikotama Atosmi Loke Vedecha Pratita Purushottama. Because I am transcendental, superior to both the fallible and infallible,
and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person. Link. Krishna will now speak about the position and deposition of a person who has assimilated the essence of the last three verses, especially that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes. Supremacy of the Vedas and the Vedanta, Kshara, Akshara, two kinds of living entities, the super soul beyond Kshara and Akshara. Kshara and Nashanam, the Akshara Nashanam Kanidi. In the material world, every living entity is fallible. Every living entity, that means body is going to change. The spiritual world, every living entity is infallible. No change. That's where the qualities of soul there, right? Satchidananda Vigraha.
Prabhuji, in this spiritual world, will be having only souls, right?
Spirit souls, yes, in the form of
no body, right?
Satchidananda. Spiritual body, it's called spiritual body. Even though, for example, I'll tell you, even though it looks like, spiritual body, that, for example, you have your body, I have my body. The same body can be there, but it's not the matter. It's not a matter.
They are infallible bodies.
Complete spiritual. Then how these pastimes happening in the spiritual world? Golok Vrindavan, all the pastimes which we see in Vrindavan, it is there in the spiritual world. That means everything is spiritual in the spiritual world. Even atom, even non-moving things, for example. And non-moving, there is no question of non-moving. Everything is conscious actually. That is there in the Prabhupada purports. Everything is conscious in the spiritual world. Right. Okay. So the super soul beyond Kshara, Akshara. Krishna that's where he establishes himself beyond these three, beyond these two. That's why he is called Paramatmeti Uddharadaha. Called the Paramatma super soul. And he entered in the three worlds. Three, right? Upper planetary systems, middle planetary systems, and lower planetary systems. That inexhaustible Lord is thus maintaining the world. Inexhaustible Lord. Nashanangani, Ksharangani, Akshara is not beyond under the modes of material nature, is not under the material world laws, is beyond. That's where he is maintaining. That's why he's not comes under the laws of these material things. Right. Okay. So now Bhagavan, 18th verse is very important verse. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Yashmat Ksharam Atitoham Aksharad Api Chottama. I am transcendental, superior to both fallible and infallible, because I am the greatest. He himself, who is saying this verse? Krishna directly saying. Directly Krishna is saying. He is giving this knowledge. There is one word, Asamaurdhva. Asamaurdhva. Nobody is equal to him. Nobody is greater than him. So, Atosmi Loke Veda Pratita Purushottama. I am celebrated in the both world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person. This is one. Krishna will now speak about the position and disposition. This is the last section. About the position and disposition of a person who has assimilated the essence of the last three verses, especially that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So knowing Krishna means knowing everything. So this is very, very important. Last two verses. Akincham Priya Prabhu, thank you for joining, Prabhuji. Would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu. 19 to 20. Krishna, knowing Krishna means knowing everything. Knower of Krishna knows everything. Vyomam eva sat mudho jnanati purushottamam sasarva vidbhajanti mam sarva bhavena bharata. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting. Sasarva vidbhajanti mam. He is the knower of everything. He engages in devotional service unto me. Sas sarva bhavena bharata. In all respect, O son of Bharata.
1 second. Yeah. Go ahead.
A summary and Falastuti. Thus I have spoken this most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures. Whoever understands this will have knowledge and realization and perfection in all the endeavors. Iti guhyattamam shastram idam yuktamam. Iti guhyattamam shastram idam Tam Maya Nagha
Maya Nagha.
Maya Nagha Etad Budva Buddhiman Ishriyat Krita Kritascha Bharata. We learn from this chapter that the person who is different from the conditioned and the liberated souls and who supports and is superior to both of them is the Supreme Lord Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Etat buddha buddhiman syat. Buddhi means intelligence. Whoever this iti guhyatamam shastram. Thus I have spoken this most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures. Idam uktam maya nagha. Whoever understand this will have knowledge. Etat buddha buddhimam syat krita kritascha bharata. This will have knowledge. Whoever understand this will have knowledge and realization and perfection in all his endeavors. Falashruti of this chapter, 20th verse. We learn from this chapter that the person who is different from the conditioned and liberated souls and who supports is superior to both of them is the Supreme Lord Krishna. So, Supreme Lord is not under this conditioned or liberated, is beyond that, is eternally existing, eternal, everlasting, eternally existing. Govindam Adipurusham, we are learning that Brahma Samhita prayers. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Right? And knowing Krishna means knowing everything. See, knower of Krishna knows everything. Krishna himself says, if you know me, that's it. You have every knowledge. Yomam yevam asammudho janati purushottamam. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of God without doubting, Prabhupada writes in his purports, doubting Thomas. Doubting Thomas. What is the doubting Thomas? Whether God is there, God is not there. Speculation, completely speculation. So here Krishna says, without doubt, understand, and without doubt, perform bhakti. Krishna is our maintainer. Krishna is our well-wisher. Krishna is our eternal father. Krishna is our maintainer. Sasarva vid bhajati mam. He is the knower of everything. He is the knower of everything. Who? Supreme Lord is the knower of everything. And when we know, when a person knows these characteristics of Supreme Lord, he engages in devotion service unto him. Bhajati mam. Sarva bhavena bharata. In all respects, in all conditions of life, he can perform bhakti. So this is the secret of Bhagavad Gita. Iti guhyatamam shastram. So devotees, the mood of devotees like this. Krishna is our maintainer. Krishna is my controller. Krishna is enjoying by me, through me. Every creation is created to enjoy. He is enjoying, not for our enjoyment. We just have to serve Supreme Lord. So this is the 15th chapter, Purushottama Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person. Right?
Prabhuji, in 17th sloka, they are saying, right, all the living entities in the spiritual world are infallible. Yeah, that means what you are saying, spiritual bodies will be there in the spiritual world, right?
Infallible.
Yeah, I understand that one. Now, my question here is, so whatever the spiritual bodies are there in the spiritual world, all are in younger stage only, because saying infallible, right?
There is no question of birth, old age, disease, and these
are the that's what I wanted to say.
Oh, there is no question of, yes, that's fair. Always. Nobody under the comes of this material laws, because that is beyond the material laws and nature, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, so what are we doing, Prabhu? I mean, Lalitman Prabhu, we are all reading all the slokas, sir. What is done? All the practice? Let's do. We can 10 minutes. Anybody recite? I mean, all the slokas we are doing, or how? What is the idea?
No, we are just concentrating on the Brahma Samhita problem. So
okay.
Brahma Samhita. Now, this week what we have programmed is like we will do the whole shloka, the whole Brahma Samhita 29 verses in one shot. This is what is the devotee should practice. So, nice. Samyukta Mataji, if you are ready, you can go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah, that's good thing, Prabhu. Every day you learned 5, then 3, then then 10 verses. I was going through the recordings, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your time and for helping us to reciting all the prayers. So you all got a touch and taste, all of your so nicely, groomed all these. How do we perform? How do we recite these verses? Thanks a lot, Light Mohan Prabhu. All these devotees are grateful to you also. And these are all very, very much needed for our ISKCON devotees when we perform Abhishekam, when we perform any festival in our temples, at our homes. We can do this. We can perform this recitation. How you all feeling, right? So nice, right? These are all mantras directly from secondary created being. Brahma is reciting these prayers. So, Samyukta Mata, if you are ready, then you can recite all the prayers. We all just will hear. And maybe I will also prepare all the slokas and I will present all of you done once you done. You wanted to do? Hare Krishna Mata?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. All of you are wonderful devotees practicing nicely. I beg at your lotus feet, please pray for me to recite nicely. I didn't go through anything. So I'll definitely present. At last, all of you are done. And
Samhita Mataji, I request you to have your own book in front of you rather than passing on the screens, because it will stop the flow. It's your wish, Mataji. However, whatever you are comfortable with, but having a hard copy will be helping you a lot. That's what my advice is. It's up to you finally.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'll read from my book, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
you have book, Mata? Unda?
Prabhuji.
Yeah. Mari, you can start from there then. I'll just go through it. I'll open all of
Okay, Prabhuji. Sri Brahma Samhita prayer. Sri Brahma Samhita 5.1. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vruteshu Surabhirabhipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambhrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kvanantamaravinda Dalayataksham Barhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalasatvanamalia Vamshi Ratnagadam Pranayakeli Kala Vilasam Shamam Tribhangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitamatchutamanadi Mananta Rupam Adhyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabha Madurlabhamatma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayo Rathapi Manaso Munipungavanam Sopyasti Yat Prapadasimnya Vichintya Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopyasau Rachayutum Jagadanda Kotim Yashaktirasti Jagadanda Chayaya Danta Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yadbhava Bhavitadiyo Manujastadaiva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasanayana Bhusha Sukteryameva Nigama Pratithaistuvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami आनन्दचिन्मयरसप्रतिभाविताभिः ताभिर्ययेव निजरूपतया कलाभिः गोलोक एव निवसत्य अखिलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। प्रेमाञ्जनच्चुरितभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्ता सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणास्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। रामादिमूर्तिषु कलानियमेन तिष्ठन् नानावतारमकरोद्भुवनेषु किन्तु कृष्ण स्वयं समभवत् परमः पुमान्यो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यस्य प्रभा प्रभवतो जगदण्डकोटि कोटिष्वशेषवसुधादिविभूतिभिन्नं तद्ब्रह्मनिष्कलमनन्तमशेषभूतं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। माया हि यस्य जगदण्डशतानि सूते त्रैगुण्य तद्विषयवेदवितायमाना सत्त्वावलम्बि परसत्त्वविशुद्धसत्त्वं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। आनन्दचिन्मयरसात्मतया मनस्सु यः प्राणिनां प्रतिफलन् स्मरताम् उपेत्य लीलायितेन भुवनानि जयात्यजस्रं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। गोलोकनाम्नि निजधाम्नि तले च तस्य देवी महेश हरिधामसुतेषु तेषु ते प्रभावनिचया विहिताश्च येन गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। सृष्टिस्थितिप्रलयसाधनशक्तिरेका छायेव यस्य भुवनानि बिभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य च चेष्टते सा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। क्षीरं यथा दधिविकारविशेषयोगात् सञ्जायते न हि तथा पृथगस्ति हेतो यः शम्भुताम् अपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। दीपार्चिरेव हि दशान्तरमभ्युपेत्य दीपायते विवृतहेतुसमानधर्मा यस्थादृगेव हि च विष्णुतया विभाति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यः कारणार्णवजले भजति स्म योगा निद्रामनन्तजगदण्डसरोमकूपा आधारशक्तिमवलम्ब्य परां स्वमूर्तिं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यस्यैकनिश्वसितकालमथावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनाथा विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। भास्वान् यथाश्म सकलेषु निजेषु तेजा स्वीयं कियत् प्रकटयत्यपि तद्वदत्र ब्रह्मा ययेष जगदण्डविधानकर्ता गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यत्पादपल्लवयुगं विनिधाय कुम्भा द्वन्द्वे प्रणाम समये स गणाधिराजा विघ्नान् विहन्तुमलमस्य जगत्त्रयस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। अग्निर्मही गगनमम्बुमरुद्दिशश्च कालास्तदात्ममनसीति जगत्त्रयानि यस्माद् भवन्ति विभवन्ति विशन्ति यं च गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यच्चक्षुरेश सविता सकलग्रहाणां राजा समस्तसुरमूर्तिरशेषतेज यस्याज्ञया भ्रमति संभृतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। धर्मोतपापनिचया श्रुतयास्तपांसि ब्रह्मादिकीटपतघा वदयश्च जीवा यद्दत्तमात्र विभव प्रकट प्रभावा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यस्त्वेन्द्रगोपमतवेन्द्रमहोस्वकर्मा बन्धानुरूपफलभाजनमातनोति कर्माणि निर्दहति किन्तु च भक्तिभाजां गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यं क्रोधकामसहजप्रणयादिभीति वात्सल्यमोहगुरुगौरवसेव्यभावै सञ्चिन्त्य तस्य सदृशं तनुमापुरेते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। श्रियः कान्तः कान्तः परमपुरुषः कल्पतरवो द्रुमा भूमिश्चिन्तामणि गणमयी तोयममृतं कथागानं नाट्यं गमनमपि वंशी प्रियसखी चिदानन्दं ज्योति परमपि तदा स्वाद्यमपि च स यत्र क्षीराब्धिश्रवति सुरभिभ्यश्चासु महान् निमेषार्धाख्यो वा व्रजति न हि यत्रापि समयः भजे श्वेतद्वीपं तमहं इह गोलोकमिति यं विदन्तस्ते सन्तक्षिति विरलचारा कटिपये।
Hari Bol, Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. And
you so much,
Mataji, there are some corrections actually, but
okay, Brahma.
What to say? How Brahma Samhita is. If you correct these shlokas, next time when you recite some other, problems might come somewhere else. So actually, it should be practiced every day. That is how we can correct these corrections. It's not by me telling you that you should improve here. If you improve here, you will make some mistake somewhere else. That is how it is. So everyday chanting is required actually. At least practice weekly or monthly once like that. Then we can get what to say accustomed to the Brahma Samhita. But as of now, you can do it just by seeing it. Now this is what our goal is actually. We can recite whenever we have a free time, just if we have a copy in front of us or the soft format or hard format, we should just do it. You could come till that level, Mataji. Please go ahead. From now on, it's up to you how you improve the Brahma Samhita. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Girish, will we end the call here today?
So this is, I checked the time, Prabhu, 18 minutes, 16 to 18 minutes it's taking for everybody. So every day one devotee is doing, right?
Hare Krishna, Brighton Puja I will do tomorrow, Guruji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, sure.
So everyone, one devotee, 16 minutes. Okay, nicely practice. I will do at the end. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, let us end here. Vancha kalpataru Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrunda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada, Gurudev ki jai, Nitaya Gaur Hari Premanande, Hari Hari. Have a Krishna conscious Monday. Hari Bol, okay? Happy Ekadasi. Safala Ekadasi. Safala Ekadasi. So whatever your activities you do, everything needs to be with the Krishna's mercy. Safalanga avalani, I'm praying you, okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Safala Ekadasi, Safalam. Nice, na?